Let me tell you the story of Daniel Boone. You've probably heard his name before. Maybe you picture a man in a coonskin cap wandering through the forest. But Daniel Boone was much more than that. He was a hunter, an explorer, and one of the most daring pioneers of early America. His life was filled with danger, adventure, and hard choices. And from his story, we can learn a lot about courage and determination. Daniel was born in 1734, back when America wasn't even a country yet. He grew up in Pennsylvania, in a time when most of the land beyond the towns was thick wilderness. From a young age, Daniel loved the outdoors. While other kids were sitting in school, Daniel was tracking animals, learning how to shoot, and spending his days deep in the woods. His parents worried sometimes, but this love for the wild shaped his future. As he grew older, Daniel married a woman named Rebecca and started a family. But Daniel was never the type to stay in one place for long. He had a restless spirit. He wanted to see what lay beyond the mountains, the great unknown territory of Kentucky. Now, this was no small dream. Traveling into Kentucky meant facing dangerous rivers, wild animals, and most importantly, fierce conflicts with Native American tribes who lived on that land. But Boone couldn't resist the call. In 1769, he gathered a small group of men and set off to explore Kentucky. For 2 long years, they wandered through the wilderness, hunting for food, sleeping under the stars, and surviving close calls with both nature and hostile encounters. Daniel's skill as a woodsman kept them alive. He could read the forest like a book. Every track, every broken twig told him a story. One of his most daring adventures came in 1775, when Daniel helped blaze a trail through the Appalachian Mountains. This path, called the Wilderness Road, became the main route for settlers heading west. Imagine hundreds of families in covered wagons, carrying everything they owned, following a trail that Boone had helped carve out. Without him, many might never have made it. But Boone's life wasn't all glory. He faced heartbreak, too. During one raid, his daughter Jemima was captured by Native Americans. Boone tracked them down and rescued her, an event that later inspired novels and frontier legends. He was also captured himself, more than once. In fact, Boone was adopted into a Shawnee tribe for a time after being taken prisoner. Instead of hating them, he learned from them, respected their ways, and even lived among them before making his escape back to his people. Daniel Boone became a symbol of courage, but he also lived with struggles. He lost land through bad deals, he moved his family many times, and he spent his last years still searching for peace on the frontier. He wasn't perfect, but he was determined. He lived a life of adventure when most men stayed close to home. What can we learn from Daniel Boone? His story reminds us that exploration comes with risks, but also with rewards. He teaches us that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward even when fear is there. And he shows us that sometimes, blazing a trail isn't about making life easy for yourself, but about opening the way for others. Daniel Boone died in 1820 at the age of 85, after a life that had become larger than legend. Today, when we think of the American frontier, his name still shines bright. Not just because of his coonskin cap, but because he dared to go where others were afraid to step. So the next time you hear his name, remember this. Daniel Boone was more than just a frontiersman. He was a man who looked at a mountain and thought, I wonder what's on the other side. And then he went to find out.